Welcome to Inside the Taubman Approach, the podcast from the Golandsky Institute, a vibrant community of pianists, teachers, and musicians dedicated to the pursuit of artistic freedom, technical mastery, and expressive depth. I'm your host, Benjamin Harding, and this episode marks the beginning of Season 2 of our series. Over the past year, we've heard from remarkable artists who have shared their journeys with the Taubman Approach, how it has transformed their playing, teaching, and understanding of music. And this season, we continue that exploration with even more inspiring voices from within our Golandsky Institute community. To open the season, I'm joined by Barbara Banacos, a gifted pianist and teacher whose insight, generosity, and curiosity embody the spirit of our community. In this conversation, we talk about her journey with the Taubman work, her teaching, her writing on Substack, and the wonderful community that continues to make the Golandsky Institute such a special home for pianists around the world. It's a joyful and reflective way to begin Season 2. Here's my conversation with Barbara Banacos. Barbara Banacos, welcome to Inside the Taubman Approach.
Thank you, Benjamin. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, it was so good to have you on. The first episode that we had you on, and you just really spoke so well about your journey through injury and finding the Taubman Approach. A wonderful tribute to your father and to your mother, of course, in this family journey of music. You come from a musical family.
Yeah, I do. I really couldn't escape,
Indeed. So here we are, and we're talking today about how things are going in the Taubman world yourself. And as you develop your studio, as you develop your knowledge in the Taubman work, what's happening for you right now?
Yeah, well, mostly I'm teaching a lot. I have a lot of students. I teach a lot of kids and also adults. I also still keep my lessons going with Robert Durso of the Golandsky Institute. I see him every 2 weeks, and that's been great because I often bounce a lot of teaching questions off of him and, show him things I've been working on with my students. And it's been such a great mentorship with him.
Yeah, he's an absolute pro, and of course, one of the leading teachers in the Golandsky Institute. Um, what are some things that you've been discussing with him?
Gosh, I mean, like, I had a student bring me passages from La Campanella, so I'll do stuff like that, like very difficult passages, or like I'll have, beginner level students that I'll bring in, who will actually have time with him on Zoom as well, and will show him how they're developing just playing a scale, more of the basics. And it's so great to have his feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, I'd be really interested in understanding some of the fingering that he might have shared with you for La Campanella, for
For
example.
sure. Yeah.
Well, it just speaks to the community emphasis that the Golandsky Institute really is about. And you've been involved in the certification process as a teacher for many years now. And t- tell our audience about how you got involved in the certification process, what that's been like for you, how you've excelled in your own pianism and your own playing, your teaching. What's the certification process been like for you?
Yeah. Wow. I started it so long ago. It's hard to even remember the early days of it. But
Yeah,
like I started studying Taubman even before they had a certification program.
right,
um,
indeed.
and actually, Yeah, and I had moved back to the Boston area from New York City when they started the certification program too. So at first I was kind of bummed because, we didn't have Skype then or Zoom, now it's so much easier because you can jump online, you can bring students to your lesson and have them right online with you. So I feel like it's so much easier now than it was. Um, yeah, it's been really great. Like, I just love how the Golandsky Institute sets up this mentorship, So Bob has been my mentor for many years now. And it's just such a great thing to say to a student, "Hey, let's consult with this, person that's even way more experienced than I am, and let's get his point of view on things." And then I grow so much as a teacher through that, and you don't feel like you're in competition or something.
Hmm.
It's not like that. It's very, um, it's the way it should be. It's very
Yeah,
nurturing.
it's a very unique process, I would say, in our field as pianists and piano teachers, that we
Yeah.
have expert feedback. We're able to offer our perspective, and to be challenged in our pedagogy is such a wonderful thing. And so, this the different kind of levels in the certification process. What's that been like for you in terms of, just growing in this knowledge of the Taubman work?
Yeah, well, like I said, it's hard to remember the early days of it, but as I go as I go along, I just sometimes I even think like, what can I do just in the next month to make myself go further in the process, Um, because it can feel like, it's kind of like a mountain that you're climbing, but if you just take it step by step and you think, "Okay, how many students can I bring just in this next month?" So I try to just take it in small steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
And you've really become a leading voice in spreading the word about the Taubman approach. I noticed, and I'm a Substack subscriber of your
yay.
of your wonderful Substack. Tell us a little bit about your new project with the Substack.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's still quite new for me. It's been a bit of a learning curve. But, for a while I've been thinking, how can I promote the work outside of my own studio and outside of my own little bubble here in the community that I'm in? And I've been thinking, like, what can I do online? And, I love, like Instagram and things like that. But when you post a video, it just seems like it's there and it's gone.
Yeah.
When I found Substack, it was really inspiring to me because it's like you can build a website. The way that I see it is like I'm building this little resource library for the Taubman approach,
Yeah.
just to support, people learning the approach and people teaching the approach. And I'm hoping it will be a place where people can just go and like you go to a library, you pull a topic off the shelf, you can read about it, watch my little video, and it just felt like such a nice platform to try to do that on. It's a lot of writing, which I love to do. I love to write. And of course, I do the videos too because you have to demonstrate what you're saying. It's just so much easier that way. Um, but yeah, so far I feel like a lot of the Taubman work has been shown through video,
Hmm.
and it's
Right.
great to expand a little bit more on the writing part of it too,
Yeah.
Of
Indeed.
course, Edna just released this great book, and Therese Milanovic has a great dissertation out there, and I'm sure there's blog posts around, but, I just saw it as this great opportunity, like, "Hey, I love to write." Like, this I feel like this is the place where I could do this?
It's so exciting, and I was thrilled to see your Substack on this work and on this approach. I really enjoy Substack. I have for many years now on a variety of topics, from politics to history to fine art to intellectual curiosity. It's a fantastic platform, and to have a voice for the Taubman work on Substack, this is fantastic. It's so exciting.
Thanks so much. Yeah. I got on there because I actually study some French just for fun, and I happened to, be following a French teacher on Instagram, and she was talking about Substack, and I was like, "Huh, what is Substack?" And I jumped on, and then I started thinking, the Taubman approach should be here. And I was searching and nothing came up. I searched piano technique at that time, nothing came up. Um, so I'm like, huh, okay, maybe I should give this a shot?
Fantastic. And dear listener, as you're listening to this, we'll have Barbara's wonderful Substack linked in the show notes so that you can follow and support Barbara in this project. It's so fun. I also have a Substack. I'm really experiencing really fantastic conversations on Substack and the networking, of folks that are, will take time to read content, long form content, and it's just really
Mhm.
exciting that you're a part of that conversation.
Thanks. Yeah, and I really, I've thought a lot about how a lot of us have a lot of training in the Taubman approach, and we all have our own unique voice. We all have different backgrounds, different experiences that we're coming from. We have different styles of teaching. And I feel like the more each of us can do something to promote the work, the more it's going to spread. And, our own style and personality is going to connect with different people?
That's beautifully said. Yeah, I've found so much strength in the Golandsky Institute in terms of the diversity of opinion, the diversity of backgrounds and personalities, and all centered around this fantastic body of knowledge that, of course, Dorothy Taubman started, and then Edna Golandsky and others have advanced in our day. It's so exciting to be a part of that kind of community that doesn't squash diversity, but actually enhances it and encourages it.
Yeah, and, we're all spread out all over the world in different corners of the world, and we're connected to different communities, different schools, so, the more we can all do, the more the work's gonna just be lifted up, and all of us as teachers will be lifted up, I think.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about what you're excited about in your own personal studio. What's going
Mm.
on in your studio? It's the beginning of the fall. Um, you know, Teachers kind of get going in the fall. Has that been your experience lately,
Oh, yeah.
just in the last couple of weeks here?
Yep, definitely. A lot of scheduling, a lot of, if configuring the schedule, working around soccer schedules for the kids and all that. Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah, so, a lot of my students are returning students, then I have a lot of new ones. I've actually picked up a couple new students just from doing this podcast with you before, so
Well, that's
I have to
exciting. I'm glad
I
to
have to
hear
thank you
that.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you lived closer, I'd bring you a pie or something.
And I'd receive it gladly. I love pie.
Me too. Yeah, I just got a new student who's dealing with some dystonia, and he heard me on the podcast that I did with you, so, that's been exciting, that can be a really complicated injury to work with, but
Wow, yeah.
so far he's doing great, and there's a lot of potential there, so, yeah, so just getting some things off the ground and, just planning like, "Okay, I gotta get my students to see Bob pretty soon." Yeah, and also with the kids, like, so I teach a lot of kids, and one thing that I've been trying to do is create a little more resources for teachers who are teaching Taubman to kids based
Mhm.
on my own experiences. So I've started actually writing up this like sort of document, I guess I could call it a book,
Yeah,
of like
sure.
short musical patterns of when a beginner student is just learning rotation and walking in and out on the keyboard. So, I'm kinda, like, testing it out with a bunch of my my little ones, and, hopefully, I'll be able to, put that out into the world for some other teachers as well. So,
Well, that's so
yeah, that's
exciting.
kind of
That is so
yeah.
exciting. Yeah, there's so much potential, and of course, in the Golandsky Institute, we have Mary Moran guiding that
Mhm.
expert in helping younger students explore the Taubman work. And
Yes.
wow, but you're in your own personal studio, in your own personal way, you're exploring how to reach these folks at a younger age.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like a lot of us who are involved with Golandsky Institute, we do teach a lot of kids, and it's important to I don't know, like I would love to hear from other teachers too, like how do you approach kids, and because they're not always prioritizing technique, of course. um,
It's
so it's kind of more about like building a foundation that you can build on later as they get more mature. So that's been on my mind a lot lately, and of course Mary Moran's work has really inspired me a lot in all that.
and yeah, because you've got kids learning time signatures and rhythms, and then key signatures and theory, and then
Right, and they
and the little ones, um, it takes a while. It takes effort to keep them on the bench sometimes.
exactly, yep, yep.
So do you do like games with them and things of that nature in your lessons with the little ones?
I don't have too many that are younger than, like, 6 right now,
Well,
but I
that's young.
remember
That
y
is
yeah,
young.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of them come in at, like, 7 or 8, which is great. Younger than that, yeah, I remember pulling out a puppet or, like,
Yeah, right,
having them
sure.
like, as they learn a piece, you have them draw a little picture, like, every time they get something right, they can draw another stripe on the rainbow or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
right, sure.
there's all kinds of things you can do. Yeah.
Yeah, age appropriate learning styles, all of that kind of, is a part of a rich and vibrant piano studio, and, it sounds
Yeah.
really fun to be in your studio.
Well, it's great for me to have so much diversity in my studio too, because I'll go from helping somebody with La Campanella to, like, teaching somebody, like, the Harry Potter theme or whatever, like,
Yeah,
it's, like,
right,
so
and
different.
exactly. Now, do you have group, lessons at all, or is it just individual? Do you have playing classes? Like, what's that look like for you?
No, I haven't done too much of that. I mean, I'm about to have, like, a little music gathering with my adult students so they can share what they've been learning
Sure.
with each other.
Yeah, that's
I
that's
used to
important.
do Yeah, I used to do little Halloween parties with my students, but, haven't done that for a while. That was fun. They'd all come in costume and play something,
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
And we're all kind of
Yeah.
still getting our feet under us, from the pandemic and whatnot, and depending on the
Mhm.
area of the world that we live, we're still trying to figure out, okay, what's next for a studio environment. Um, do
Mm.
you have
Mhm.
recitals and things of that nature, like year-end recitals with the students?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep,
that's
every
great.
May, I do a recital for the little kids, and my mom and I, we always play a duet at the end of every recital, so right
Oh,
now, we're
that's
working on the, Schubert Fantasy in F minor.
that's
Um
so beautiful. I love that piece so much.
Yeah, oh, it's so gorgeous. We've had this dream of playing some of West Side Story together, but it's not really arranged, for 4 hands on 1 piano at an advanced level. So, we've been trying to maybe play around with arranging it too, but, that's gonna take a while.
Well, that is an exciting project. Wow. Keep us surprised of that, because I know, as our audience is listening here, the interest is peaked.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
would be so fun to play four hands.
Yeah, well, Anderson and Rowe, the duo,
I
Anderson
love
and Rowe,
them. Yeah.
they've done some great stuff with West Side Story, and I wrote to them asking, like, "Can I get your score?" But, they said they don't have it available yet, like, copyright stuff, whatever, but so if they release their score anytime soon, we'll just jump on that one.
Sure, sure. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What fun. What fun and what opportunity,
Yeah.
to share with your students to say, hey, here's what here's what is possible, and to create that kind of energy. So, well, that's fantastic.
Mm. That is really fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And your mom has been involved in the Taubman work, of course. We've talked before, and she's a wonderful example of what the Taubman work can do in a person's life and a person's teaching style. And does your mom live close to you?
Yep, like 20 minutes away.
Well, that's great. And she has her own studio. I've got to reach
Yep.
out. We've got to get her on the podcast. But
Yeah, you should.
yeah, absolutely. So she has her own studio.
Yep, yep. She's got an ocean view in her studio. I don't have that, but
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
In
she's got a
the
beautiful
Massachusetts area. Oh, that's
yeah.
making me jealous. I'm here in Philly.
Uh, well, that's
Uh,
for you.
but to see the Atlantic Ocean, my goodness, what an opportunity. Um, so we've got a number of things coming up in the Golandsky Institute, and you've obviously, been a part of these summits, gatherings. What can you say to folks that are curious about the Taubman work and the Golandsky Institute's work in particular in featuring these yearly gatherings? We want to prepare people now to begin to sign up because these are exciting gatherings, and the
Yeah.
level of teaching is just unreal. So tell us a little bit about your experience with those yearly annual gatherings.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I used to just live for those things, especially when they were in person. Like, I
Yeah,
really miss, like we used to gather at Princeton or other places. And I just feel like I sort of found a family through, attending those yearly symposiums. And now, of course, it's online, which also has benefits to it because I feel like it can reach so many more people all over the world. Um, and, you can just sit in your living room and you're going to hear lectures that you can't get anywhere else. I mean, they're just so unique. The information is just pure gold.
indeed.
Yeah, and I feel like the teachers are always, just developing, I don't know, just more nuances to what's happening and they're passing it on to us and oh my gosh, I still learn so much, and I've been going since 1996. So,
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
so we're speaking of the annual symposiums, and friends, as you're listening today, go to GolandskyInstitute.org for more information on symposiums that are just around the corner. And everybody's welcome to come. Everybody's welcome to come. It's there's no issue with anybody who wants to sign up, right, Barbara?
that's right, yeah, I've mentioned it to a lot of my students, and sometimes they're like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm advanced enough," but no, it's really for any level, you can always work on your technique, and it's
Absolutely.
even more important if you're at the beginning of your training, I think.
Yeah, and at the Institute, we are always kind of thinking through the scheduling of it and making it better and better every year.
Mm,
And Barbara, as you've mentioned, you've been a part of these symposiums for a long time, and they make these incredible concepts so clear to pianists of all levels, teachers of all stripes, so to speak, and it's just so fun too. It's a lot of fun.
yeah, and you can tell the teachers put so much time and energy into what they're gonna present, and the handouts are so great to have, they mark up scores really well, so then you have that as a resource in your studio. It's really great.
Yeah, and I had the honor actually this past symposium to play a Schubert sonata and in a master class, and to have Edna really work through this beautiful piece of music that's really dear to me. It's the small A major, um, and
Oh, so
and it was
nice.
just incredible the precision at which she brought the music to life for me. And so, friends, yeah, as you're listening, go to GolandskyInstitute.org and check this out. and be a part of the family. Barbara mentioned we are a
Yeah,
family in a way, right? We
it
really care about each other.
yeah. It's such a great community. It really is. I've like, some of my closest friends are from being involved in the Golandsky Institute.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, Barbara, thank you so much for joining us today. And it's just such an encouragement to me as somebody who's really at the beginning of his journey and learning the Taubman approach to see that you're always learning and you're always pushing yourself forward and deeper into the work, and your impact on your students, your own playing. It's just marvelous to see.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your encouragement too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and if you wanna study with Barbara, we've got, links in the show notes, friends. Yeah, let's pack her studio out with people.
Thank you. I'm gonna owe you a lot of pies.
And I love pie. Thank you, Barbara.
All right, thanks for having me. Available online.